The door had opened, and behind it, Caleb weeping. The burned god stirring. The diner alive and dying, burning and remembering. Myra stepped inside the last shift. No more realities to phase through, no more rules to bend. It was all ash now, smoldering memory, broken rituals, shattered timelines stitched together with salt, blood, and her name. The end was here. But endings remember beginnings. Chapter 1. The Core. The room behind the door was infinite. A diner without walls, floating in nothing. Tables spread like stars, silverware hanging in space, glinting like constellations. Caleb stood in the center, his eyes sewn shut with golden thread. "You shouldn't have come," he said, "but I'm glad you did." Behind him, the burned god rose like a red eclipse. Its body was made of watchers, failed ones, screaming ones, forgotten ones. It smiled. Chapter 2. No More Rules. The rule book was gone. Ash. Myra reached for it. Her fingers passed through nothing. The walls whispered, "There are no more rules." She realized the rules had never been about survival. They were containment, each one a thread. And now the tapestry had unraveled. She looked at Caleb. "What do we do without them?" "We remember," he said. Chapter 3. The First Watcher. He stepped forward, stone and bone, older than time. The first watcher. "I failed. You all did," he said, "but you lasted the longest." Myra saw her own face flicker over his. "This is not about winning. This is about holding the line." He handed her a single tooth, black and hot. "Bite it when you're ready." Chapter 4. The Choir of Ash. Voices sang in the void. Children, diners, watchers, all broken, all burned. The burned god listened, fed on them. Myra gritted her teeth. Caleb handed her a match. "What are we burning?" she asked. "What we used to be." Chapter 5. Fragmented Roads. The highway returned, splintered. Dozens of versions of the diner flickered into being. She saw herself in each, some alone, some monsters. They watched her and began to march, not to destroy the burned god, to trap it together. Chapter 6. The Hollow Seven Die. The seven arrived, cloaked in smoke. One by one, they bowed to Myra. "It ends with you," said the tallest. They offered her their names, real ones. She carved them into her arms, and they turned to salt. Chapter 7. Memory Reclaimed. She remembered her mother, the shift she forgot, the first rule she ever broke. Each memory sparked a flame. Together, they formed a circle of fire. The burned god stepped forward and burned. Chapter 8. Caleb's Truth. He revealed the truth. He had volunteered to become the seal.
"You needed a face you could trust,"
he said.
I became the anchor.
Mira wept. He did too.
Now you must take my place.
She said no. Chapter 9. The Burned God Speaks. It finally spoke. It said Mira's true name, the one she'd forgotten. She dropped to her knees.
You were made to fail.
It whispered. She stood. Then I choose to fail differently. Chapter 10. The Last Diner. Only one diner remained. The others flickered and vanished. It was hers, the original. She walked in. Everything was as it was the first day. The bell rang. The coffee was warm. Caleb sat at the counter, waiting. Chapter 11. A Meal Remembered. She cooked. Eggs, bacon, toast. They sat and ate. Like it was just another day. No monsters, no screaming, no ash. The burned god watched through the window. It didn't understand. Chapter 12. A New Rule. Mira picked up a pen. She wrote a new rule on the napkin dispenser. Rule 1. If the burned god is watching, smile. She smiled. It blinked. Chapter 13. Salt Circle. She walked the diner perimeter, sprinkling salt. Each grain remembered. Each grain forgave. The god recoiled. Caleb sang a lullaby, the same one from the jukebox, backwards. The booths hummed. Chapter 14. Last Tips. Ghosts arrived, regulars long dead. They left tips, fingernails, old coins, a toothpick cross. Each one an offering, each one a binding. Chapter 15. The Final Rule Book. Pages appeared from the ceiling. A new rule book formed in Mira's hands, not written in ink, but in hope. She titled it, How Not to Die Serving Coffee. Chapter 16. The Fire Beneath. The floor cracked. The shrine pulsed. Mira walked down alone. She saw the rib cage again. It whispered, You are enough. She sat. She watched. Chapter 17. Ash Rains. Ash fell from the sky, but it didn't burn. It blanketed everything. Soft, gentle, warm. The burned god screamed. Mira smiled. Chapter 18. The Fade. Caleb began to disappear. You won't need me anymore, he said. I always did, she whispered. He kissed her forehead and was gone. Chapter 19. Watcher Eternal. Mira sat in the booth. A cup of coffee, a new rule book. The bell chimed. A new hire walked in. Lost, terrified, curious. She smiled. Read the rules first, then I'll make you something hot. Chapter 20. Endings are doors. The diner still stands, no longer cursed, but not free either. Outside, along the highway, 1,000 roads vanish. One remains. The Midnight Mile, A door appears at the end. It opens, and somewhere far away, the burned god sleeps. For now. The end of the Midnight Mile.